Therapy. Nataxja, thanks so much for joining us on this.
Thank you.
It's important we talk about this show for parents who are watching before the kids start watching it, I would imagine, because there's a lot of talk about shows like this. This one in particular, it's portrayal of suicide. And should we as parents be concerned when shows like this are created and our kids are watching them?
We should be concerned because it's important to have the dialogue. The show actually has things that are just fantasies, like even just Hannah's videos that she makes out, the 13 tapes that she gives to everybody else. Most time teens don't leave such a long description about why they are killing themselves, and it's more complicated than the show talks about. And it's important we have these dialogues to help remove the stigmatization of mental health and suicide.
So let's talk about some of the advice you have for parents. The first is educate yourself first.
Yes. Parents need to be comfortable talking about these topics. So the show covers a lot of issues: teen drinking, teen sexuality, bullying, cyberbullying, isolation, and suicide. And you have to be able to put your queasiness aside and actually have an open, frank conversation with your children.
Watching the show together, you recommend, as opposed to just letting your kids watch it with them?
Watch it with them. Your kids may be watching the show already without you knowing because it's streaming on Netflix. They may have heard about it from school as well. So the first episode, a lot of critics was because it talked about suicide. It was very unrealistic in some of the things that happened. It showed that there was no support for Hannah, or it was insufficient support. And you want to have those conversations with your children, that there is support out there. What would you do if when you reached out for help, someone actually gave you the brush off or pushed you away? And also about all the little things that happen. There's a lot of nuances in the show, such as someone could have been a little kinder, someone said something mean, and what a big impact that had on Hannah, and how little things can have impacts on the people around us.
If parents are there sitting next to their teen or child watching the show, that provides, then I would assume, an opportunity for that question, that conversation that can happen right there on the spot as they're watching.
Yes, and that's a good thing about being on Netflix is that you can actually pause it and say, okay, the scene we just saw right here, do you relate to that? Is there anybody at school that you can relate to this? How would you act in this situation? What do you think about these characters? And don't binge watch it. There's a lot of dark themes in this show, and you want to give your children time to process it, even for you to process the information yourself.
Sure. Yeah, because I think even for parents, it's really hard to think that our children could be going down such a dark path. We don't think that they would be going there, but in so many cases, as we've heard in the media, a child takes their own life, and the parents say, she was happy-go-lucky, she was a good student, she was loved, she had so many friends. They too were a little blind to it, and so
you can be.
You can be, can't you, as a parent?
You can be blind to it, and also it's suicide, something that child does, your teen does. It doesn't blame other people, aren't responsible for it, and that's important because the show, the way they portray it, is that she's blaming everybody. It's all your reasons. This is why. And it's important for parents to talk to their children that these type of emotions that Hannah may experience or they may experience are transitional. Emotions are transitional. Suicide is a permanent solution when we can't find actually other solutions. And we want to talk to your children about reaching out for help, because we can't help you unless you talk to somebody. And
because as you say, say in the show, they don't show that there's help, but in real life there is help out there. There are resources.
There are a lot of resources, and we have a lot of resources in Ottawa. We have distress numbers that the children can call. We have the Youth Services Bureau. There's 911, and it's really important to give that message to your children. There are helpers out there, and if you actually get rejected the first time you reach out for help again, because there are people who are there to help. And also talk to your children about if you see somebody in the hallway crying or you see somebody bullying, what can you do to step in, to intervene without feeling you're a tattletale or without feeling you're going to get bullied yourself, to step up and be there for other people. And that's important, to let people know we're here for you.
Okay, very good information. Nataxja, thank you so much. It's a tough subject, but one that parents and kids do have to talk about together. Appreciate your insight as always.